Hello and welcome. I'm your host Aditi Singh and you're watching My India. India-Sri Lanka relations have long been shaped by deep civilizational, historical and strategic connections. President Dissanayike's recent visit to India has further strengthened these ties, with both nations committing to enhanced collaboration in defence, maritime security and economic development. Recognizing their shared cultural heritage, the two countries have also deepened their cooperations in areas such as counter-terrorism and cybersecurity. Let's delve into the growing ties between these maritime neighbors.
India and Sri Lanka share a deep civilizational and historical bond that spans millennia. As India's close maritime neighbor, Sri Lanka is central to New Delhi's Neighborhood First policy and its Sagar vision, security and growth for all in the region. The bilateral relationship between the two nations is robust, spanning key areas such as defense, maritime security, and economic cooperation. Strategically positioned across the Palk Strait, Sri Lanka plays a crucial role in India's regional strategy. On December 15th, newly elected Sri Lankan President Anura Kumar Dissanayake visited New Delhi for his first overseas trip. During his visit, President Dissanayake and Prime Minister Narendra Modi held comprehensive discussions. The Sri Lankan president expressed gratitude for India's support during the 2022 economic crisis and reassured India that Sri Lanka's territory would never be used against it, underscoring their strong collaborative relationship.
ඉන්දියාවේ ආරක්ෂාවට කලාපයේ ස්ථාවරයට හානිදායක වන කිසිදු ආකාරයකින් සිය භූමිය යොදා ගැනීමට ශ්‍රී ලංකාව ඉඩ නොදෙන බවට මා ඉන්දියානු අග්‍රාමාත්‍යතුමාට පොරොන්දු.
During his visit to India, Sri Lankan President Dissanayake held productive meetings with President Draupadi Murmu and engaged in discussions with External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and National Security Advisor Ajit Doval on mutual interests. India and Sri Lanka agreed to quickly finalize a defense cooperation agreement and collaborate on hydrography. Both countries reaffirmed the importance of the Colombo Security Conclave for regional peace and development, and also committed to strengthening cooperation in maritime security, counterterrorism, and cybersecurity. Additionally, India is advancing energy ties with Sri Lanka, including plans to supply liquefied natural gas to Sri Lanka's power plants to address growing energy needs.
हमने अपनी आर्थिक साझेदारी में इन्वेस्टमेंट लेड ग्रोथ और कनेक्टिविटी पर बल दिया है और निर्णय लिया है कि फिजिकल, डिजिटल और एनर्जी कनेक्टिविटी हमारी भागीदारी के अहम स्तंभ होंगे। दोनों देशों के बीच इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ग्रिड कनेक्टिविटी और मल्टी प्रोडक्ट पेट्रोलियम पाइपलाइन स्थापित करने पर काम किया जाएगा। सामपुर सोलर पावर प्रोजेक्ट को गति दी जाएगी। साथ ही श्रीलंका के पावर प्लांट्स के लिए एलएनजी सप्लाई की जाएगी।
New Delhi and Colombo highlighted the strength of their people-to-people ties, deeply anchored in their shared civilizational heritage. The recognition of Pali as a classical language in India, a gesture also celebrated in Sri Lanka, exemplifies their mutual commitment to a forward-thinking vision for enhancing bilateral relations. India has long been a steadfast partner to Sri Lanka, offering vital support in times of crisis and continuously deepening collaboration in security, economic development, and cultural exchange. Looking ahead, both nations are dedicated to further strengthening their partnership, focusing on building a secure, stable, and prosperous future for themselves and the broader South Asian region. The evolving India-Sri Lanka relationship stands as a powerful testament to the enduring strength of shared history, mutual support, and a collective vision for a brighter future.
In the rugged landscape of India's northwestern region, the Bishnoi community has long protected the endangered black bucks, symbolizing the harmony between man and nature. Now, the centuries-old tradition of stewardship continues today, showcasing the power of compassion and respect between humans and animals. Let's journey into their world and witness this extraordinary bond in action.
These are Bishnoi community members from Rajasthan, revered as guardians of the endangered black buck. The community is spread in Rajasthan and some adjoining states of Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana, and Gujarat. Guided by their spiritual principles, they have safeguarded these majestic animals and trees for centuries, embodying a deep connection with nature.
प्राणी मात्र है ना, उनकी रक्षा के लिए हमारा चाहे शरीर बलिदान हो जाए पर हम उनको न तो हरे वृक्ष काटने देंगे न कोई जीव जंतु मारने देंगे। हमारे यहाँ खेजड़ी पास में 15-16 किलोमीटर खेजड़ी का इतिहास है। वहाँ 363 लोग खेजड़ी काटने के बारे में शहीद हो गए। आज का इतिहास है। वहाँ माँ अमृता देवी का स्टेचू लगा हुआ है, वहाँ आप जाके देख लेना। और भी 363 लोगों का नाम लिखा हुआ है। काले हिरण है, चिंकारा हिरण है, कैसे भी बटेर वगैरह कोई भी है तो उनको हम मारने नहीं देते।
The population of black bucks in India is estimated to be around 20,000 to 25,000, with a significant number found in Rajasthan. In the Konkani village of Jodhpur, the Bishnoi community has constructed a large memorial to honor black bucks killed due to poaching. The Forest Department, in collaboration with the local community, also runs an animal rescue center in the village to provide care for black bucks and other wildlife. Our journey led us to Abohar in Punjab, where the Sri Guru Jambeshwar Wildlife Sanctuary provides a serene refuge for black bucks. Amidst golden fields and whispering winds, these graceful creatures thrive under the vigilant care of the Bishnoi community, steadfast protectors against poaching.
20 और 9 जिससे टोटल 29 है, इसी से बिश्नोई समाज का नाम पड़ा है। और मोस्टली ये है कि पर्यावरण को कैसे ही बचाया जाए और ड्रग से और नशे से बच्चों को, नेक्स्ट जनरेशन को कैसे दूर रखा जाए, मोस्टली इसी टाइप के हैं सब नियम। बिश्नोई समाज हर तरह किसी भी कोई जानवर हो उसको किसी तरह से कोई हर्ट करे तो उनको बर्दाश्त नहीं करते। स्पेशली जैसे ब्लैक बक के लिए काफ़ी इन्होंने मेहनत की है, काफ़ी लोगों ने बलिदान दिया है और अपने खेतों में, अपने घरों में भी इनको पाल के रखा है। जैसा जो दूसरा कोई नुकसान ना कर सके वो हर कोशिश में अभी भी लगे हुए हैं।
We had the privilege of meeting Ramesh Bishnoi, the National Vice President of the All India Bishnoi Association, a dedicated crusader for the protection of black bucks. Driven by an unwavering passion for conservation, he runs a rescue center in the Duturanwali village at his own expense, providing a safe haven for these endangered animals and ensuring their survival against all odds.
हिरण घायल है तो उसको जो है जहाँ भी हमारे जैसे यहाँ सुखचैन जो ये फालका जिला अबोहर तहसील के अंदर बनी हुई है, सीतों के अंदर जो हमारी गौशाला बनी हुई है, यहाँ ले आते हैं। यहाँ लोगों के सहयोग से और जो गौशाला कमेटी है, प्रधान जी, इनके सहयोग से डॉक्टर को बुला लेते हैं और वो इसका इलाज करता है। अगर कोई हिरण को मारता तो हम ये सोचते हैं, ऐसे हमारी भावना बन जाती है कि हमारे बच्चे को मार रहे हैं, क्योंकि हमारा इन हिरणों से अटूट रिश्ता है।
The Forest Department applauds the Bishnoi community's unwavering commitment to safeguarding black bucks and other wildlife, recognizing their tireless efforts as true stewards of nature.
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਫੋਰੈਸਟ ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਟੀਮ ਹੈ, ਅਬੋਹਰ ਰੇਂਜ ਦੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਟੀਮ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡਾ ਟੀਮ ਵਰਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛਾ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਚਾਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਮੇਂ-ਸਮੇਂ ਤੋਂ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਅਵੇਅਰਨੈਸ ਕੈਂਪ ਲਗਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੰਗਲੀ ਜਾਨਵਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਚਾਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਵੇਅਰਨੈਸ ਮਤਲਬ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਵੇਅਰਨੈਸ ਕੈਂਪ ਲਗਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਚਾਇਆ ਜਾਵੇ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਸਕੇ।
The Bishnoi community's deep-rooted commitment to protecting black bucks and other wildlife continues to inspire global conservation efforts. Their unwavering dedication, guided by compassion and respect for nature, plays a vital role in preserving these majestic creatures for future generations.
In the heart of Mumbai, the vibrant and spiritually significant event of the annual Urs of Baba Makhdoom Shah Mahimi has commenced, drawing devotees from across the nation. This 10-day celebration, steeped in history and tradition, takes place at the revered shrine, which has stood for over 600 years. Devotees participate in various rituals, including the offering of chadar, a sacred cloth, at the shrine. Take a look.
Every year, as the sacred dates of the Urs of Baba Makhdoom Shah Mahimi approach, the heart of Mumbai beats with an unshakable rhythm of faith, devotion and unity. The annual 10-day event held at the shrine in Mahim draws thousands of devotees from across the country, transcending religious boundaries to embrace a shared spirit of peace and communal harmony. The Urs of Baba Makhdoom Shah Mahimi is more than just a religious event. It's a beacon of hope, reminding us that when we come together in peace and devotion, the boundaries that divide us disappear.
मेरा विश्वास है हर तरह से मेरा जो मुराद मांगे वो मेरा पूरा होता है। जिस मंगल से आते हैं मंगल मेरा पूरा होता है।
कितने सालों से आ रही हैं?
करीब 6 साल से आ रही हूँ।
6 साल से आ रही हैं। तो कैसा लगता है यहाँ आती है?
बहुत अच्छा लगा, जैसे सुकून आता है।
हाँ।
ऐसा लगता है कि मैं अपने फैमिली के साथ में जैसे कि सुकून से अच्छे से रह रही हूँ। मेरा घर भी सब अच्छा से है, इनके दर पे मेरा सब अच्छा है।
From the sacred chadar to the joyful celebrations, the Urs of Baba Makhdoom Shah Mahimi is a living tribute to the legacy of a saint whose teachings continue to inspire millions, fostering peace and unity in one of India's most vibrant cities. The atmosphere is charged with devotion, where Muslims and Hindus alike unite in prayer, share in the offerings, and take part in the numerous traditions that define the sacred event.
सरगा के जब मेला है तो मेले में हम लोग बचपन से ही जा रहे थे। अभी उर्स भी आएगा बाबा का। हमारी बहुत बाबा से बहुत बड़ी मतलब बहुत अलग रिश्ते है बाबा से। जब मैं कुछ मांगे तो यहाँ हमारा माइंड वाला हर एक चीज पूरी हो जाती है।
बहुत अच्छा माहौल है, सब लोग सरकार से मिलने आ रहे हैं। बस सबकी मिलने की मुराद पूरी होती है एकदम से बाबा।
The Urs of Baba Makhdoom Shah Mahimi is not just an event. It's a powerful reminder of the shared values of humanity, compassion, tolerance and unity. As the celebrations continue, they echo the call for communal harmony, a message that remains as relevant today as it did centuries ago.
Now, let's delve into World in Focus, featuring the latest global developments and events shaping our world.
Senegal's local toy makers are experiencing a boom in demand ahead of Christmas, with sellers hoping to win market share with high-quality products that reflects the country's culture and values. Mostly, Muslim Senegal has a strong tradition in which different religions share and enjoy each other's holidays. Christmas is an example in the capital Dhaka, where the city is lit up with decorations in December and holiday markets draw families seeking gifts. Avva Gay, the co-founder of the toy brand Yevu, was among the sellers at a bustling Christmas market this month. She launched the business after having a daughter and realizing there were few toys that made her feel valued. Yevu dolls are adorned with African hairstyles and clothing. and carry inscriptions in the widely spoken local language Wolof. The idea is still new to some Senegalese parents, who sometimes ask her for white dolls or for writing in French. Local producers are optimistic that demand for Senegalese toys will remain strong, as the children often point out toys that looks like them. A Renaissance era raised passageway that connects Florence Uffizi Galleries to the Medici former's residence, Palazzo Pitti, will reopen to the public, offering a spectacular views of the historic Italian city. The Vasari Corridor, named after Giorgio Vasari, the 16th century architect, painter and art historian who designed it, snakes its way through central Florence, passing over the Arno River, via Ponte Vecchio Bridge, one of the city's landmarks. It was built in 1565, in just a few months, to allow Florence rulers to move freely between their home and Palazzo Vecchio, the seat of government, passing also through the Uffizi Galleries. The corridor, which had been closed since 2016, will open to groups of up to 25 people at a time, who can walk through it from the Uffizi to the Piazza Boboli Gardens, crossing over the Arno from the right bank to the left.
India is renowned for its diverse handicraft traditions, with each state showcasing unique art forms. One such tradition is the Kunbi Sari of Goa, a symbol of state's rich cultural heritage. Woven by hand by Goan women, this sari is a testament to their craftsmanship skills. Today, these women are not only preserving this art, but are also empowering themselves through their time-tested expertise.
Meet Sneha Nayak from Goa, who's mastering both the skies and the art of tradition. With a drone in hand, she soars to new heights, while on the ground, she leads the Bhutnath Self-Help Group, a collective that weaves the iconic Kunbi saris. Through her efforts, many rural women now earn a steady income, preserving an ancient craft. From building the group from the ground up to earning numerous accolades, Sneha's journey is a blend of innovation, empowerment, and cultural pride. She benefited from the government's Lakpati Didi, or Millionaire Sister scheme.
गर्व से कह सकती हूँ कि आज मैं लखपति दीदी हूँ, और इसका और एक कारण है कि मेरे गांव की जो कुंबी साड़ी है, गोवा की जो शान है, वो साड़ी को उतना मार्केट नहीं मिल रहा था, तो हमने सोचा क्यों ना मैं उसमें भी कुछ करूँ। मेरे साथ में जो वीवर्स जुड़ गए हैं, उनका जो हैंडलूम का खुद का जो काम है, उसको मार्केट में कैसे लाना, अलग ढंग से मेरी कुंबी कैसे वहाँ पे खड़ी हो जाए, इसलिए मैंने काम शुरुआत किया और मैंने कुंबी से और नए नए प्रोडक्ट्स बनाने शुरुआत की।
The Kunbi sari is Goa's traditional checkered pattern design sari, whose popularity had diminished over time. However, it is now being revived by women's self-help groups in Goa, with full support from the government. Today, women in villages like Mandram are making Kunbi saris on the large scale, preserving their tradition while becoming self-reliant.
ये जो हमारा हैंडलूम है, हम इसके भरोसे जो मंथली हमें जो कुछ मिलता है, उसके भरोसे हम अपना घर चलाते हैं।
अभी अच्छा लगता है, घर का काम भी होता है और इधर भी आता है, मन बहुत अच्छा होता है इधर काम करने का, और अच्छा लगता है, घर का काम भी होता है और इधर का भी काम होता है।
गोवा सरकार ने हमें बहुत हेल्प की है, उन लोगों ने काम के लिए हमें ये स्कूल भी दिया है, उधर हम काम करते हैं और यहाँ काम करके हम हमारा घर भी चलाते हैं।
Weaving the Kunbi sari is a delicate process which requires immense patience and precision. First, cotton threads are prepared. On traditional looms, women weave the checkered pattern saris which feature red, black, white and brown colors. In addition to saris, shawls, towels, and mats are also now being made.
इधर कुंबी साड़ी बनाते हैं, शॉल बनाते हैं, टॉवेल बनाते हैं, दरी बोलते हैं वो बनाते हैं, और मैट वो भी बनाते हैं। एक साड़ी 3 दिन में पूरी होती है, शॉल 2 मीटर 1 दिन में पूरा होता है, टॉवेल 1 दिन में 2 भी बनता है, और ये मैट 2-3 बनता है 1 दिन में।
These women weavers are thriving thanks to the Lakpati Didi scheme, an ambitious initiative by the Government of India aimed at economically empowering rural women. The scheme helps them start their own businesses and build sustainable sources of income. With a vision to transform lives, the Government of India aims to turn 3 core women into Lakpati Didis, or millionaire sisters, paving the way for financial independence and empowerment.
कि हमें 3 करोड़ बहनों को लखपति दीदी बनाना है, यानी 3 करोड़ ऐसी बहनें और जो सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप में काम करती है, जिनकी 1 साल की कमाई 1 लाख रुपए से अधिक होगी।
The Kunbi sari is not just a piece of fabric. It is a vibrant thread that weaves together Goa's tradition and spirit of self-reliance. These women are not only preserving this age-old art, but also carving a path of independence. Through government schemes and the collaboration of self-help groups, women across the country are being empowered, gaining the strength and confidence to stand tall and thrive on their own.
Ladakh, often called the crown of India, is renowned for its stunning natural beauty and unique culture. Snow-capped mountains, clear blue skies and breathtaking views captivate tourists. Visitors can enjoy activities like trekking, biking and exploring Buddhist monasteries, historical forts and museums, all while experiencing the peaceful lifestyle of the locals. Let's uncover the magic of this stunning destination.
Ladakh, a picturesque Union territory in northern India, truly lives up to its name, the land of mountains or high passes, with much of its terrain soaring over 10,000 feet above sea level. From the charming Leh to the majestic Kardungla Pass and the stunning Chongla, Ladakh is a traveler's paradise. In recent years, the surge in domestic and international tourism has been fueled by enhanced facilities, luxurious hotels, and a growing range of exciting activities.
At the beginning, जो यहाँ पे tourists आते थे, they were more focused on the culture part. Late 80s में, then we had trekkings, then we had expedition, then early 90s we had whitewater rafting, whitewater rafting. फिर lately we have like the motorbikes tours. Then we had now लेटेस्ट एक्टिविटीज़ सेगमेंट्स आप बोल सकते हैं, हमारा पैराग्लाइडिंग हुआ, हॉट बैलन हुआ, ये सब शुरू हुआ।
Ladakh offers much for tourists to explore, with Leh's main market being a key attraction. It features a variety of goods, from jewelry and clothes to groceries and local street food. The market, filled with shops and stalls, caters to all, whether you're looking for handicrafts, food, or a glimpse into local Ladakhi life. Adjacent to the market, a street market mainly run by local women sells dried fruits. This vibrant market is a hub for both tourists and locals.
ये मार्केट जब आप जाएंगे तो आप यहाँ के लेह की औरतों को देखेंगे फुटपाथ पे अपनी सब्जियाँ बेचते हुए, जो एक बहुत बड़ा अट्रैक्शन है टूरिस्ट के लिए। और साथ ही में आप बहुत सोवेनियर्स ले सकते हैं लद्दाख के, जैसे पश्मीना बहुत यहाँ पे माना जाता है सबसे बेस्ट क्वालिटी लद्दाख के। आप एक सेक्शन देखेंगे लेह मार्केट में जहाँ सब जो है लद्दाख के जितने भी ड्राई फ्रूट्स मिलते हैं या फ्रूट्स मिलते हैं वो सारे एक जगह एक तरफ होते हैं, जहाँ बहुत अच्छा लगता है, टूरिस्ट को बहुत भीड़ हो जाती है उससे परचेजिंग के टाइम पे।
A major attraction in Leh is the historic Leh Palace, also known as Lhasa Palace. This 400-year-old royal residence is a stunning example of ancient architecture. Inspired by Tibetan design, its 7-story structure seamlessly blends Tibetan and Ladakhi styles, crafted from stone and wood. The palace offers breathtaking views of Leh city and the surrounding landscape. Now under the care of the Archaeological Survey of India, it also hosts a museum showcasing artifacts that highlight the rich history, culture, and art of Ladakh.
पहली बार आया हूँ, लेह भी पहली बार आया हूँ और लेह पैलेस भी पहली बार आया हूँ और ये पैलेस देख के मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगा। मतलब बहुत पहले का पैलेस है और ये अभी तक टिका हुआ है और यहाँ के जो रूम्स है बहुत सारे मतलब छोटे छोटे रूम हैं और मतलब सीढ़ी मन भी कहीं से भी आप कहीं भी निकल सकते हैं, ऐसा टाइप का लगा मुझे और बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे लेह पैलेस घूम के, बहुत सुंदर है।
Another major attraction in Leh is the Central Asian Museum, which preserves historical artifacts within its simple yet unique architecture. Each floor showcases different aspects of history, including rock art, daily use tools, and ancient coins. These coins tell the story of Leh's role as a trade hub, with coins from Tibet, Yarkon, Kashgar, and other regions highlighting exchanges of pashmina, wool, silk, and spices. The museum also features Buddhist and Islamic manuscripts and sacred objects, including a handwritten Holy Quran, reflecting the religious harmony.
सेंट्रल एशियन से लोग आते थे और यहाँ ट्रेड करते थे, नीचे जाते थे, तो इसको एक सिल्क रूट का जो है एक ट्रेड सेंटर कहा जाता था। तो उसी चीज़ को हमने यहाँ इस म्यूज़ियम में प्रिजर्व करने की कोशिश की है और आप देखेंगे यहाँ पर बहुत सारे आर्टिफैक्ट है, आपको जो है रिलीजियस भी है जिसमें मुस्लिम बुद्धिस्ट दोनों के जो है आपको यहाँ पर जो है हिस्टोरिकल इवेंट्स आपको मिलेंगे, फैक्ट्स मिलेंगे, आर्टिफैक्ट मिलेंगे, तो इसका हमारा पर्पस था।
Beyond Leh and its surroundings, Ladakh offers more to explore, including Pangong Lake. Famous for its appearance in many Bollywood films, the lake's stunning beauty leaves visitors speechless. Popular activities around the lake include yak rides, two-wheeler rides, photography, and bird watching.
And this is the one of the best place we have seen, Pangong Lake. और यहाँ पे जो शूटिंग हुई थी उसी के मजे ले रहे हैं। अभी हम स्कूटर पे बैठे हैं।
आज तक इतना नज़ारा कहीं नहीं देखा। आया यदि पेंगोंग लेक पे खड़ा हूँ तो ऐसा मैं नहीं लगता कोई वर्ल्ड में और कहीं होगा और इतना हैप्पी और इतना हम इधर पीस भी यहाँ के जो पीपल है इतने पीसफुल है।
Known as the land of monks and monasteries and the cold desert, Ladakh attracts tourists with its unique geography. Its high altitude gives the region a distinct air and climate, adding to its appeal.
Ladakh's breathtaking landscapes, rich history and vibrant culture make it an unforgettable destination for travelers seeking adventure and serenity. And with that, we wrap up today's episode of My India, but we will see you next week at the same time. Till then, goodbye and take care.